we can start.
And I see, is that the nunnery back with us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, hello everybody. So I shall share my screen. Okay, so today is lesson 24. So before I start, since we have a bit of time, okay, we have done, let me think, we've done two of the what do you call it, context clues. Those who can share with me, can you just shout out or unmute yourself or type it in the chat? What are the two context clues that we have already learned? Anyone? If you have missed some of the lesson, it's okay. Whatever you can remember, you just share with me. We're done too. Anyone? So I know Sashi is here and Chamika just came on. Buhumi should be also here. Ben Dama is, okay, Ben Dama is not here. Yep, so anyone? Izumi is also here. So everyone went silent. Okay, so never mind. So I just recap for the two context clues. We've already done the definition, meaning. Remember, when you actually find that they define the words, the difficult words in the text. Okay, for affixes and root word, we actually look out for words that has a prefix, suffix, as well as the root word, and we understand the meaning. So today we are going to go into the third context clue. So today what we're going to do is we're going to review root word and affix. Okay, and we are going to go into the third context clue, which is examples, illustrations, and they may look a little similar to the meanings and definitions. I'll explain more how they are different. Okay, and of course we're going to try and use the examples and illustrations as context clues so that you'll be able to understand better. Okay, so this one information for us. So like I shared, we've done the first one, which is definition, meaning, and restatement. Okay, where you find the meaning of the difficult words being spelled out in the text. Okay, we've also done root word and affixes. We spent about 2 lessons on this. So we look at the parts of the words and we try and put meaning together and guess the meaning of this vocabulary. And today we are going to go into this second one, which is example or illustration. Illustration does not refer to pictures. Okay, they are using words to describe the meaning. Okay, so here, like, some birds like to build their nests in inconspicuous spots, okay, which is very, very difficult. Even though you may know the prefix in, you may know that OUS is a suffix, but in between is very, very difficult to understand. You look for examples that is being explained to you what inconspicuous might mean. So in this text here, it says, high up in the tops of trees, well hidden by leaves. So from here, you try and guess the meaning. So it must be a place. Inconspicuous could mean something that is not easy to be found. Okay, well hidden, and it's very high up. So you can use this in your understanding of the difficult word. Okay, so before we go into illustration and example, let's review root word and affixes. Oh, I see Mahisha is here. Okay, so last week we've learned what are prefixes, what are suffixes, and 2 of these make up affixes, and we also learned some root word. So we're going to go into some quiz. Okay, so first question, and questions like this, if you do not know, I'll teach you. Okay, we review and teach you, go through how can you try and answer. Okay, so this question here is, what is the Greek root for water? Okay, so you know we've learned that roots can be Latin, can be Greek, or even some other roots. So water. So A, hypno, B, cling, C, hydro, D, cork. So now if you're not very sure, if you're thinking, Teacher Jeannie, is so difficult. I don't know all these words. It's Greek word. I don't learn Greek. But let's think about the words. Okay, so for example, A. Can you think of any words that comes that has the word, the root hypno in it? Okay, if you think of some words, you will think about words like hypnosis. Okay, hypnosis is where you put people in a state where they are not conscious. Okay, it's a process to get people who are not conscious, and then they can maybe tell story. Okay, or you will try to get out what they're thinking in their mind from there. So hypno, if I say hypnosis has that meaning, does hypno mean water? Okay, clean. Okay, I don't think you will talk about cleaner. I can't think of any words that has clean. But let's think about hydro. I'm sure some of you will be able to point out some words. Hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen is a kind of particles. Okay, hydrogen. What else? Words like hydration comes from the root word hydro. Hydration means to take in enough water and keep yourself well so that you don't feel thirsty. Okay, that's hydration. Cork. Words like cork will be cognition, cognitive, cognizant. Okay, and so cork, I believe when I talk about cognitive, cognition, you will think about something that's related to brain. Okay, so then now let's try. If anyone can give me an answer. So what is the Greek root for water? Let's see, I've got somebody. Thank you, Sheshi Fernando. Yes, hydro. Very good. Okay, because of words like hydrogen, hydration, hydraulic. Okay, they all come from the word hydro that has got water or liquid, the meaning of liquid. Very good, thank you. Okay, next question. You've learned what is prefix. Prefix, okay, first thing we must think, what does the prefix this mean? Okay, first thing, let's recall, does prefix come in front or behind the root word? Then you will be able to know this, and we've gone through this. Anyone can tell me the answer. What does the prefix this mean?
Not opposite of.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Who was that? Who? Buhumi, is it? Thank you, Buhumi. Yes, not or opposite of, such as disagree, disconcerted, disabled. Last week, Ben was saying disabled. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to test you. Who can remember what prefix actually has the meaning of again?
Re.
Thank you. Very good. So re has the meaning of again. Well done. Looks like either you can remember it very well or you've done some research. Very good. So this refers to not or opposite. Okay, so words now. What root word is present in the following words? We read, readable, reading. So this is a trick question because root words can be either in the front, middle, or at the end of a word. Okay, but most of the time prefixes are at the front, suffixes are at the back. So anyone can tell me the answer. Which root word is here?
Read.
Thank you. Is that Buhumi again?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Buhumi didn't attend quite a few lessons. I didn't see you the last lesson, is it? But you're still able to answer that. Very good. So yes, read is a root word. Okay, so it stands on its own and it has a meaning. When you add prefixes or suffixes, it changes the meaning. So reread means to read again. Readable has the meaning of being able to read. So reading, the suffix ing, is that continuous action of read of doing the reading a book. Okay, yes. So now this one we also didn't learn. Okay, the Greek root poly means. So now while you're thinking, you have to think about words that has poly, such as Singapore, we have a clinic called the Polyclinic. It's a group of clinics, okay, where people can just walk in. It serves the community. We also have Polytechnic, which is a higher institution. People who marry many wives, I think that's polygamy, okay? So what does poly mean? Can anyone try this? Let me find any other poly words. And you said, see if you can guess the meaning. Okay. Okay, we have words like polymer, polygon. Like I said, polytechnic, polyclinics, which are not easy, yeah? So anyone can try and give me the answer. If you do not know, it's okay. That means you add another root word to your understanding. So the meaning of poly actually means many. Okay, so when teacher Ginny said polyclinic, because there are many of these clinics out there and it's for the community. Okay, same for polytechnic. I think it has to do with it has the meaning of there are quite a number of all these institutions and it supports people in a higher institution. Okay, polygamy, like I say, is the people marrying many people, many spouse. Okay, having many spouse. Okay, that's poly. The opposite of poly is, anyone can try and guess, which means one. Tough, so we're trying to build your understanding. So the opposite of poly is this word mono, M-O-N-O. Okay, like monotone, monologue. Monologue is one person talking. Like now, it feels quite like a monologue. I'm talking, you're just listening. Yeah, so mono is the opposite of poly. Poly means many, mono means one. Okay, monotone means one color. Okay, so next question. The root sub means under or low. Which of these words means a boat that runs under the water? Okay, sub is already given to you, but now we want to identify which of the words means a boat. Okay, which of the, whatever that's added to the root word sub has a meaning of boat. And I'm sure you know, subway refers to what? Subtract, you also know very well. So we try and eliminate. If I know subtract, if I know subway, do they refer to a boat that runs under the water? Okay, if they do not, yes, very good. Thank you, Sashi. How did you guess is sea submarine?
Submarine is runs under the water.
Good try. Okay, so from our knowledge, we know that the submarine is a boat that runs under the water. But if you know the word marine, okay, marine refers to army that works in the sea, or they work on board boats. Okay, they work with boats. You will know that a submarine would refer to a boat that runs under the water. Okay, that's how we come up with sound, because if you know the word marine, there are also many words with marine that has to do with sea, to do with boats. Okay, so that is the meaning. Thank you, Sashi. Okay, this one looks very difficult, but let's try. Okay, an intravenous shot is given through the muscles. Is it true or is it false? This is a word that I also don't know what it means. Okay. But I know intra, but when I look at venous, I can make a guess whether this meaning is correct or not. Okay, that the intravenous shot means to give through the muscle. Who wants to try? Is it true or false, this statement? So difficult, right? Okay, never mind. I'll give you the answer. The answer is actually false. And intravenous shot is not given through the muscle. Now, I want you to guess from the word intravenous, where is the shot given through then, if it's not through the muscle? Anyone wants to try? Teacher Uru is also thinking very hard. Okay, if I reveal the answer, you would be thinking, oh, I see.
Into a vein or vein?
Very good, Buhumi. What makes you think that is into vein? Which part of the word tells you that you guess is vein?
Because
Make a
the
guess.
part venous.
Yes, okay. So VEN tells you, okay, you can make a guess that is into the vein. So why? Okay, intra is already has a meaning of into, okay? And then into where? Into through the vein. So very good. So vein is spelled as V-E-I-N. So when teacher Ginny tried this to answer this, I guess that the V-E-N here actually is a root word for vein. Okay, so that's why it's not through the muscle, it's through the vein. And I found, I Googled the meaning of intravenous is actually given through the vein. So good try, okay, you see? So when you know some of these root words, you can guess it easily. Thank you, Buhumi. Okay, next question. The Greek root word phone means sound or voice. Which two words are examples which contain these roots? This is not difficult. And I know some of the words you may not know the meaning, but you may get confused with, oh, because teacher Ginny said that sometimes the root word will change, or the prefix and suffix will change letters based on the words that follow. Okay, so anyone can give me the answer. What's the answer for this question? This is one of the, yes, Bukumi.
Telephone and phonetics.
Very good. Why is it that at the end, when you say phonetics, you didn't seem very sure?
Yeah.
Because you don't understand the meaning of which word?
Phonetics.
Very good. Okay, so phonetics is something that teacher Ginny is very, very familiar with. So when I look at the question and I know immediately the answer is D, telephone. Why? Because it has P-H-O-N, the root word phone. And of course, phonetics also has the word, the root word phone in it. But what is the meaning of phonetics? You're not very sure. So phonetics is the reading of letter sounds, okay? Such as T makes the T sound, H makes the H sound, E makes the E sound, or the sound, or the sound. Okay, that's when we put all the sounds together. For example, the word Greek, G, E, K, Greek. Okay, that's phonetics. Okay, so how do we put letters and sounds together to read words? So again, you see, I'm using sound because phonetics has the meaning to do with sounds. Very good. So the answer is D, telephone phonetics. Okay, so you see from here again, although you may not know the meaning of phonetics, but now you know of phone. When you see phone, it has got something to do with sound or voice. Okay, so now this one is something that I've been teaching, so you should be able to get this answer right. Prefixes come before the root or the base word, while suffixes come after the root or the base word. Is it true or is it false?
It is true.
Very good. Who was that? Sashi, right? Yes, correct. It is true. So always remember pre has the meaning of before or advanced. That's how you remember that. Okay, so this is a recap because after this lesson, if you can answer this question well, I don't have to share this anymore. Okay, this one we've also learned. He always acts in an blank responsible manner when he loses his temper. Do I put in irresponsible, unresponsible, disresponsible, or irresponsible?
Unresponsible.
Okay, who was that? Buhumi. Okay, Buhumi said unresponsible. Okay, good try. Anyone has another answer? If no one else has the answer, do you agree that the answer is un? Okay, let's try Buhumi. Can you tell me why you choose un?
Guessed.
Again? Oh, you guessed it. Okay. Okay, so let's go back first. So he always acts in an blank responsible manner when he loses his temper. So once somebody loses a temper, you know that he's not behaving in a responsible way. So it should be, the meaning of the prefix should have the meaning of not. So in and this, ill, they all have the meaning of not or opposite of. But I know C is out. It's not disresponsible because the word before is N. So N and this will not go together. I know C is definitely out. Okay, and then Buhumi said an. An also means not. But in the English word, we don't use unresponsible. Okay, so the answer, anyone wants to try before I review the answer?
This.
Disresponsible. Okay, Shashi say disresponsible. I just explained this is not, okay, because N is usually followed by the next word beginning with a vowel, which is A, E, I, or U. Okay, so this is definitely not the answer, although this means not. Okay, Buhumi's tried irresponsible, almost there. Okay, so because Buhumi did not attend the lesson when I was teaching, so the answer is actually D, E-I-R, irresponsible, because in, okay, let me just type it, okay, for those, okay, in, I am, I-N, I-R, and IL, they all have the same meaning, okay, but they are used interchangeably. Okay, so for example, when you have a word like responsible that starts with R, you actually use IR. Okay, you actually use IR. Okay, you actually use IR because the word starts with a R. So, and then if let's say words like illegal, it means not legal, you will use IL because it follows the first starting letter. Okay, so Buhumi, I hope I've explained it, okay, a bit more why is IR and not IN. Okay, so let's see if I can. Okay, the next question. I think this is the last. This so far is comfort blank. Is it comforted, comfortable, or comfortably?
Comfortable.
Okay, very good. Comfortable. That yes, okay, it is comfortable. Okay, why is it not comforted? Okay, comforted is when somebody speaks to you, makes you feel better. You feel comforted. Okay, and then comfortably is actually an adjective. Okay, or is it an adverb? Okay, so it's either an adverb or adjective. It describes how you feel. Okay, and then something okay. Okay, it should be used this way. If we're using comfortably. I sat on the sofa comfortably. Okay, it describes how you feel. Okay, however, now it's describing the sofa, so it's comfortable. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so let me try and delete this thing first. Just give me a moment. Okay. So here. Okay, erase. Very good. Okay, so now we are going to look at what are some of the examples. Okay, this is new. Okay, what are examples and illustrations as context clues? Okay, so first thing, I'm going to tell you what are illustrations and examples. Actually, illustration or examples, they are called explanation of words. Okay, they are using descriptive words or description in words, more than one word to actually explain the difficult word in the text. Okay, so, and you can look up for words such as, including, for instance, and like, to actually understand that the author may be using example and illustration to explain the difficult word. Okay, so let's take a look at this example here. An occupation such as that of a hat maker or a postman is important for anyone who wants to earn a steady blank. Okay, when we look at this sentence, why does teacher Jeannie use this sentence? Because, okay, we want to understand the word occupation. I know most of you will know what is an occupation, but a person who doesn't know this meaning may be a little bit confused. Okay, why? Because if we look at the word occupation, it actually has three meanings. First meaning, all of you know, an occupation means a job. My occupation is a teacher. My occupation is a doctor. I treat patients. So that occupation, when used, has a meaning of a job. Okay. Occupation also means to take up space. Your occupation of this room will mean that I have to move out of this place. Okay, so it doesn't mean job when I use it in that sentence. Your occupation of this room will mean that I have to move out of this space. Okay, it doesn't mean job, because if you replace job with the word occupation, it's wrong. So in the sentence that I just shared, the word occupation actually means taking up space. Okay, and the third meaning, for those who are very familiar with war, okay, war, W-A-R, you will hear words like, oh, the Japanese occupation, okay, or the some countries had some war and there was an occupation of this country by that power. Okay, so words like that occupation actually means one country taking over the other one. So for someone who may know or not know what's the meaning of occupation, there are three meanings here. Okay, so for someone who knows, oh, I actually know occupation has three meanings, then to fill in this blank here, you must fill in the right answer. Okay, so which is why I am looking at this comma, such as tells me that, oh, it's trying to describe what the occupation here can mean. A hat maker. Okay, hats and make an ER. I know that it tells that it's a person who makes hats. And a postman is a person who delivers mails or posts. And what does a hat maker or postman tell you? Is it a job to take up a space or one country occupying the other? Okay, so the answer is actually a job. Okay, because the example of a hat maker and the example of a postman tells you that occupation the occupation here actually illustrates a job. Okay, so then let's try and answer this question. An occupation such as that of a hat maker or a postman is important for anyone who wants to earn a steady blank. So now we know that the occupation here means job. Who can tell me? And we look at the word earn. So a job helps you to earn something. Would it be A, victory, B, pay, or C, space? Let's try.
B, pay.
Hey, what makes you think so? So you must be able to explain.
Because of the verb earn.
Okay, what else? Okay, it's fine. I know, very good, you got it. Okay, because of the word earn, and we know that it's a job. Okay, the answer is pay, correct. But why did Teacher Ginny also use victory? If somebody thinks that the word occupation here, without looking at the context, okay, without looking at the examples of the hat maker and a postman, which is why I say they are used as context clue, you must look at the context, okay, the text that are inside here to help you give the answer. If I think that occupation has something to do with war, I can also say earn a victory. But the context here tells me that it is not war. That's why I cannot use victory. And a space, okay, if we look back at just now, okay, occupation also means taking up a space. Can I say earn a space? Yes. I've worked hard to earn a space in this university. I deserve it. Okay, I can use earn a space. So if somebody is not reading everything in context, they look at occupation, they think earn something, I can say earn a space, which is wrong. However, if we read everything and understand this or the whole sentence in context, looking at the illustration and example, you will know the answer is actually pay. Okay, so I hope that gives you a very good example, because a lot of times when we use we look at text, we're most concerned about words that has got multiple meanings. Okay, if you're not careful, you may get the wrong meaning, but context clues such as examples and illustration are very good when the difficult words may have multiple meanings. Okay, so that's where you use the words, the examples and the illustration in the text to tell you what could be the answer. So we're going to go through, I think, 12 questions of quiz, okay, to help us understand illustrations and examples better. Okay, I shall read the first question for you. After this, you will have volunteers to read, okay? So constellations, such as the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper, can be seen in the night sky. Using the example clue, okay, which is this one, such as the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper. The word constellation, so constellations is our difficult word, in this sentence actually means, is it A, clouds, B, group of stars, C, moons, or D, lights? Okay, so let me explain first. I've not really heard about Little Dipper, but I know what is the Big Dipper. Okay, Big Dippers, you see them in the sky. It's very, very bright in the dark night sky. And some places they can see Big Dippers, some places they cannot. Okay, so and you will know that most likely it will not be moons, okay, because there is only one moon in our sky. Okay, so C, okay, is definitely out. I'm not going to look at C, but do I look at clouds, which seems I'm not sure if clouds have names called big dipole or little dipole. Okay, you see, people who do not have understanding will make some guesses. Clouds may have names which I don't know. Okay, or is it lights? See, Sri Chandrajaya, the nunnery, somebody said clouds. Okay, so that is because you don't know what are big dipoles and small dipoles. Okay, yes, Shashi says is group of stars. Okay, the answer is actually group of stars. Good try for the nunnery, because I think, again, back to this thing, if you don't know what is big dipole and little dipole that has been given as an example, you will not know what is constellations. Okay, however, if you know what are big dipole or small dipole, which are groups of stars and that they form shapes such as the other kinds of constellations are the Orion belt. Yeah, that's the only one I can still remember now. Things like the Southern Cross, okay, they are constellations. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, if you don't know the example and the illustration given, you will have to make a guess. Okay, constellation actually is another meaning, is another way of trying to understand what it means. Okay, stella, okay, it has the root word stella, okay, which actually means something like stars. Okay, so that's why, again, if you don't know the illustration and examples here, your root word prefixes and suffixes may come in helpful here. But if you do not know them, it's very difficult. Okay, so this is a good example why sometimes how examples and knowing the examples and illustrations will be able to help you get the answer. So I think the next one will be a bit more easy. Can anyone help me to read question 2?
May I?
Sure.
Nutritious foods such as fruits and vegetables help our bodies grow. Using the example clue, the word nutritious in this sentence means.
Very good. Okay. So now, nutritious, it's not an easy word for those who do not know. Maybe our grades 4, 5 or grade 2 or 3 students, they do not understand. Okay, but let's take a look at the example and illustration, which is fruits and vegetables. When you think about fruits and vegetables, you think of, is it unhealthy? Is it fried? Okay, if you still do not know what are fruits and vegetables, you look at the end again, help our bodies grow. So let's take a look at these 3 answers are quite straightforward. Yucky, boring, or is it healthy? So nutritious means?
Healthy.
Very good. Yes, it means healthy. Okay, so the examples of fruits and vegetables, it takes a little bit of thinking. Okay, but if this nutritious, nutrition refers to fruits, vegetables, okay, and what do? They help our body grow. You will know that it's not yucky because it doesn't explain that it's not nice or it's just nothing much, okay, but it helps our body to grow. Okay, it's the word related to healthy. Very good. Okay, the next question. Anyone wants to help me to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who's that? Sashi, okay.
You may have an issue such as fear of snakes, which keep you from playing outside.
Very good. So Sashi, remember, we need to read all our S at the end, okay? So that we are fluent, better readers, which keeps you from playing outside. Okay, so using the example clue, the word issue. Issue is actually not an easy word. Okay, the word issue in this sentence, does it mean fear, babysitter, problem, or permission? Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the word babysitter. It's someone who looks after baby. Okay, so Shashi says fear. You may have an issue such as fear of snakes, which keeps you from playing outside because there is an example of fear of snake, right? That's why you're guessing that is fear. Okay, so but remember, Sashi, the examples and illustration does not give you the meaning. Okay, does not give you the manner of issue. Remember, so that's why I say it's different from definition and meaning, because when it's a definition and meaning, you can use a fear. However, now we're doing examples and illustrations. So you have an issue. That issue for, yes, I saw your answer. Okay, Buhumi, problem, and yes, 300 Jaya, somebody also said problem. Yes, so you see, it's trying to say one of this issue is a fear of snake. Okay, and because of your fear of snake, it keeps you from playing outside. So it's definitely not permission. Okay, it doesn't sound like permission. Unless you say you may have an issue, such as your mother scolding you, which keeps you from playing outside, then maybe permission will be useful. But here, the answer is actually C, problem. Okay, the issue here has the meaning of problem. You may have a problem such as the fear of snakes. So because of this problem, because of this issue, it does not allow you to play outside. Okay, so be very clear. When we say examples and illustration, it does not give you the meaning. Okay, so if you think it's a meaning, you will immediately pick fear. But actually, no, okay, it does not give you the meaning. It's just an example that describes your issue, and it could be just one of the issue. Okay, so good try. We still have some more questions, but I like that all of you are trying. Okay, that's why we have to have all these examples until we can understand. Okay, anyone wants to read this for me? This is so difficult. Okay, because there are many, many difficult words here in one sentence. Anyone wants to try and read for me? I see that Ben Dharma is back.
Yeah.
Ben Dharma, do you want to try and read this?
Okay. Our country's highest politician, the president, has the job of making sure our country stays safe.
Very good. Okay, so
Yeah.
I want to find, thank you, Vendama. I want to understand the meaning politician. And like I said, this text here has got so many difficult words. Okay, it sounds very difficult. Our country's highest politician. Okay, and this commas here tell you the example is this, the president. Okay, the president is the example of the highest politician. This president has a job of making sure that our country stays safe. Boss. Okay. Yes, so the nunnery says boss, elected person. Good try. Good try, because nobody tells me it's golfer. Golfer is a person who plays a golf, because you know it's definitely out. Okay, and as I see elected person and boss. Okay, so it's a contest between the boss and the elected person. Why is the man out? Okay, it can actually be the man, but it's not as simple as the man. Okay, so that's why men will leave it, but the closer guess would be a boss or elected person. Okay, so president. Okay, we must be a bit clear here. If you look at this sentence here, it has some sort of prestige in the sentence. It does not talk about any other boss on the street. Okay, so the answer is actually elected person. Okay, so if you actually look at the meaning of a politician, which is politics, the person who is in politics. Okay, and when you talk about politics, there's always talking about election. A lot of, and the president is someone who's being elected, okay, in most countries. Okay, in many countries, such as Singapore, our president is being elected into the office. Okay, so our country's highest elected person, comma, the president. Okay, so for you in Sri Lanka, I'm not sure how is it like. Okay, so for Singapore, maybe we will choose elected person because our president, which is the example given here, our president in Singapore is being elected into this position. Okay, so rather than a boss, okay, so in a more casual statement, you can use boss, but this sentence here refers to something not so casual. It's more political, so we use the word elected person. But I'm so glad nobody said golfer or even a man. Okay, very good. So let's take a look at the next question. Anyone wants to read for me? The king, yes, Sashi, is it a kingdom of Sri Lanka? Are you trying to say that? Do you have a king in your country, or is it a president kind of thing? So sorry, Teacher Ginny doesn't know that. Okay, so let's move on to question 5. Anyone wants to read this for me? Not sure if anyone from the nunnery will want to read, or are you able even to read for me? Anyone? If not, then I can also read. Okay, this looks like a very long sentence. Okay, listen carefully. Find out which is the illustration or the example. Okay, and try and use that to understand the meaning of the difficult word. Okay, our class visited the museum on a field trip. We saw many artifacts. The museum had pottery, arts, and statues from many old places. So using the example clue, what does the word artifacts actually mean? Okay, so again, we can use our prefix, suffix, and root word to try and find out the meaning of artifacts. Okay, but we're not using that. Okay, we're using examples. And where are our examples? Our examples are these: pottery, art, and statues. So using pottery, art, and statues, what do you think artifacts means? Okay, Shashi says object. Anyone has a different answer? Okay, the nunnery said yes, object. Very good. Objects, yes. Okay, the answer is object. Why? Because even when I look at the 4 answers, I will know it's not goal. Okay, there's nothing to talk about goals here. We saw many goals which are not right. Okay, we saw many points which is also not right. So it's between object or idea. We saw many ideas, but it's also difficult to see ideas. But when we look at pottery, art, statues from many places, many old places, we know it refers to object. Okay, so now that's a very good meaning. I think artifact comes up quite a bit in many of the history books or texts. Okay, you will need to know what does artifacts means. So they actually mean objects. Very good. Okay, so next question is easy to read. Would anyone like to read for me?
May I?
Yes, Buhumi.
Fish, whales, and dolphins are aquatic animals. Using the examples clue, the word aquatic in this sentence means.
Very good. Thank you, Buhumi. And like I say, okay, this is a very, very simple sentence. Okay, and you can use, if you know your prefix, suffix, you will roughly guess what is aquatic. Okay, but the examples are here: fish, whales, dolphins. What are they? They are fishes, right? They are things that you find in the water. So, yes, very good. That was very fast. Sashi, the answer is water. Okay, and the nunnery, yes, the answer is water. It's very, very straightforward. So what teacher Jeannie have taught you over the past, this is the 5th week, I think, doing context clue. Using your root words, affixes, you are able to understand aquatic. Okay, but so using your prefix, root word, suffix, you can make a guess about aquatic. But now it has been reinforced by the examples and illustration here. I know they are water animals. Aqua has the meaning of water, but I want to make sure. And here the author gave me examples. Fish, whales, dolphins, where are they found? In the water. So these 3 are found in water. They are referred to aquatic animals. I'm more clear, more sure that aquatic actually means water. Okay, so if you're lucky, your text would have the different context clues, prefix, suffix, affixes, or root word, or even examples and illustration. Okay, here in most of the questions here, there is no example of definition or meaning. Okay, so very good. So now let's take a look. Oh, time flies really fast. Okay, question 7. Anyone wants to read this for me? Okay, if not, I read it. Okay, so that is a yes. Who wants to read? Buhumi. Okay, go ahead.
Candles, flashlights, and lamps illuminate the room.
Very good. Okay, Buhumi, again, be very careful about your ending as, okay? Candles, flashlights. Very good. I see the answers coming in. Light up. So the meaning of illuminate, even if I don't know, actually, if I use root word and prefix, suffix, I'll be able to know illuminate, but I don't want to explain that. I look at the examples. Candles, flashlight, lamps, they all give out lights. Okay, so, and you want to talk about a room. Okay, so the answer is light up. Because you can see weaken is definitely out, lower got definitely out. Darken may be able to explain, but I don't think you use candles, flashlight, and lamps to darken a room. Okay, but you will have things like turning down or turning them off to darken the room. Okay, now let's see. Let's squeeze in 1 or 2 more questions. Okay, let me read this. So difficult. I didn't check how do I read this word. Okay, I read it as biomass. Okay, biomass on Earth include the plants and animals in the grassland, the plants and animals in the deserts, and the plants and animals in the rainforest. So what does the word biomass mean? Okay, so be very careful here. There are 3 examples. The first examples, plants and animals in grasslands, plants and animals in deserts, plants and animals in rainforests. Okay, they are all in different places, but you know the common thing is plants and animals, and the example here is telling you plants and animals in different spaces. Okay, different spaces. So what would the answer be? It's definitely not prisons. I think most of you will know what are prisons because nothing here talks about prison. Small areas. Yes, Buhumi?
Communities.
Communities, not very sure, but yes, the meaning is communities. Very good. Why not small areas? Because you look at grasslands, deserts, rainforests, they are not small areas. So definitely they are not small areas. And if you know catastrophes, they are also not catastrophes, okay, because catastrophes means disasters. Okay, but if you look at plants and animals, and they're talking about spaces, okay, big spaces where these plants and animals live, I can make a guess that it's communities, okay? These plants and animals, they live in their different community spaces. Okay, so let's do with the last question, okay? Let me read. Animals from the equine group, such as horses and zebras, are hoofed mammals. Wow, so many difficult words. but I want to find out the meaning of equine. Which is the examples? The examples are here, such as horses and zebras. So let's think, what are horses and zebras? Which category do they, okay, they are hoofed mammals, but what kind of group do they belong to, which is a giveaway? Yes, Sashi, very good. Horse group. Okay, you know that horses and zebras are not birds. I'm not sure if you call them reptile, because if you do not know what are reptiles, you may put reptiles, but you know that horses and zebras are not fish. Okay, they are not fishes, so it's either the horse or reptile. Okay, but you know horses are here. Okay, and if you know hoofed animals, okay, hoofed animals are mostly horses, animals in the horses group. Okay, so the answer is C. Okay, we still have a bit of time. Let's do this last question. Okay, it may not be easy, but let me try and read it for you. Okay, we've learned this C followed by I, E, and Y. It's read as S. Vicissitudes such as circumstances, developments, or journeys in life can change a person forever. What does the word vicissitudes mean? Okay, so the examples are circumstances, developments, journeys in life. They all refer to vicissitudes. What do you think vicissitude would mean? Oops.
Life experiences.
Thank you, Buhumi. Yes, okay. Why life experiences? Because journeys in life will already tell you has got to do something with across a lifespan. Okay, they also talk about developments in life. Okay, so it's actually circumstances in life, developments in life, journeys in life. Okay, so I hope I explained this, because when you look at circumstances, developments, they didn't seem to gel very well, but they actually, this sentence is actually meaning circumstances in life, developments in life, journeys in life. So it's much more clearer. All these talk about life experiences. They don't talk about vacations, okay? It's not about vacations. And families is not just families. Families is probably part of your life journey or your life circumstances and your development. It's just part of it. Okay, very good. So the time is 6:59. Okay, I shall end here. So anyone has any questions before we end?
No, ma'am, I haven't a question, but
Yes.
I have new idea say to you. We learned today way of find meaning of hard words across context clues from you. Thanks, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sashi. Don't worry. If you have questions still next week regarding what you're reading or you're learning, you can let me ask next week. Okay. And I think this is the first week we're learning illustrations and examples. So very importantly, don't mix up meaning, definitions with illustrations, examples. So the definition and meaning gives you the direct meaning. Okay. Whereas illustration examples gives you, they explain to you in words what they are trying to say by giving you some examples. Okay, so if you get that, next week we come back, we have more examples. Okay, if not,
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Back to Reverend Akila.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, thank you, Teacher Ginny, for
Thank
your
you,
1 hour
teacher.
contribution to continue the class. I think there is no any question from students, so we can stop.
Okay, Ken, thank you, everybody. Have a good day. It's going to rain in Singapore. Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Reverend.
Yeah,
Bye-bye,
bye, everyone.
everyone.